All right, beautiful people, welcome to yet another episode. In this episode, we want to talk about some of the signs of autism in adults. Of course, we know that autism is a neurodevelopmental disorder, meaning that it's something that really occurs quite often from birth, you know, and because it occurs, when people are born, they are born with it. Um, it can get to the point where the way the brain develops for that person is a challenge. Their brain development is not like the usual child that you might know. Quite often, signs of autism can be seen when people are in their childhood. There are times that people will grow with it, and then it's difficult to really know, whether they are autistic and so on and so forth. And they might be having some challenges in their life. So in this video, I want to show you some signs of autism in adults so that you can check it out. And just in case you have any of these signs, you might want to seek further medical, diagnosis and so on and so forth. So what are some of the signs of autism in adults? The first sign that you need to look out for if someone is autistic in their adult life is communication challenges. So quite often it's difficult for people with autism to communicate with other people, to understand what people are saying to them, to even, be able to understand the social cues, eye contact, if you make any facial gestures for them to be able to understand and be able to communicate or follow through a conversation with people is a problem. They struggle following through a conversation, So communication challenges can be one of the main signs of autism in adults. Another thing that you can see as a sign of autism in adult is their social interactions. They have problems when it comes to interacting socially. Sometimes people who are autistic are very hypersociable. They are too sociable. They are, overly sociable. They can see people they don't know and start talking to you, And then sometimes too, they like to be more of, in isolation, that they don't want to really interact with people. So some of these social interaction, difficulties can be a huge sign for you to see if someone is autistic or not. Another sign of autism among adults is difficulties when it comes to executive functions. Our executive functions are higher brain functions like planning, decision making, paying attention, your working memory, keeping things in memory. So quite often people who are adults who have autism are people who struggle, in doing some of these executive functions. So they struggle when it comes to planning things in their life. They struggle when it comes to organizing their activities, organizing, anything around them that has to be organized, they struggle to even make a decision for themselves, they struggle to pay attention when you are talking to them, to pay attention when they need to pay attention to the work they are doing and so on and so forth. So all these difficulties when it comes to executive functions can be a huge sign of autism in adults as well. Another huge sign for you to check out, that might warrant further diagnosis is difficulties when it comes to regulating their emotions. Autistic adults cannot really regulate their emotions. They can get angry when there's nothing to be angry about. They can start smiling and laughing when there's nothing, for anyone around to laugh about. They can even become moody and start crying when there's nothing to cry about. These are all signs that can show that someone is an adult but have autism and therefore might need further diagnosis. Subscribe to this channel, share this video. I'll see you in the next episode.